Well, well, well. If it isn't the gallivanting good doer. Good job, boys. I almost can't believe you caught her.
It wasn't easy. She took out like 20 of us. And Johnny. Dear God, what she did to Johnny.
Yes, well, thank you. Give us some privacy if you would.
My pleasure. I'm gonna go right ahead and find a therapist. Poor Johnny.
Okay, now I'd love to have my villainly monologue here, but after that, I honestly just have to know, what exactly did you do to Johnny? I mean, you couldn't have killed him, right? You're supposed to be a hero, so what did you do? I'm actually speechless. I don't think there's any reality where that is what I was expecting. I'm gonna have to revise my goon training materials after this. You look awfully pleased with yourself. What do you think, just because he works for me that he's evil? He could have a family. Does he? Well, I don't know. He's a goon. I'm a villain. I don't exactly take an interest. But you really shouldn't be so pleased with yourself. After all, you are tied up at my feet. Can't be terribly comfortable being thrown on your face on the cold, hard floor. Did I say you could get up? How about I press your face back down beneath my boot? You know, there's two things us villains love more than anything else. I personally can't get enough of either. I mean, the first is obvious. Power, control, absolute domination. I mean, to be a villain in most people's eyes is synonymous with a desire to take over the world. Now, perhaps their idea of what that means is different from mine, but it's not that wrong. Having you, my arch nemesis, the biggest thorn in my side ever since you showed up 6 months ago, finally sitting powerless beneath me. This is the sort of power I crave, and I am enjoying every second of it. To have my nemesis completely at my mercy. Oh, but the other thing we all love is to be recognized. What is the villain monologue, if not a play to get the hero to see all that we've done, to respect our accomplishments, to understand our plan? And since I have absolute control, with you bound at my feet, arms helplessly crossed together behind your back, you have no choice but to listen. And what a perfect audience you make. I can't exactly confide my plans in just anyone. Can I trust my henchmen with the details of all my plans? They don't even really care. They're just here to follow orders and get paid. I can hardly tell anyone outside of my organization when I have to put on a public face and pretend like my company has literally any kind of moral compass. But you're perfect. You already know what I'm about. It's why you're here. And if at the cost of my patience, you have earned my own respect with just how much you've managed to damage my operations. Now, on to the main course of this delicious monologue. You might expect my plan to have something to do with taking over the world, running the city, and owning the lives of everyone here. And perhaps 6 months ago, it would have been. Most days it still would be. But not today. I can hardly do this with your face all the way on the floor. Care to trade the boot on your head to a fist in your hair? Oh, what a beautiful yelp that was. And here you are, up on your knees, head pulled back by the hair, still too weak to fight back, helplessly looking up at me, right in the eyes. Just perfect for me to see your reaction when I tell you that today, my dear hero, is all about you. Why did you come here today, my foolish little friend? You came because you were snooping through some files on one of my systems, and you discovered a secret project. A mind control device which has been secretly in development for 2 years. Long before you popped up and started halting my operations. Me, with the power of mind control. You just couldn't have that, could you? No, of course not. When you saw that the first field test of the device was scheduled today at my secret lab here beneath this warehouse, you had to come stop it. If I used it successfully even once, it would mean I could use it on anyone. And you know I'm supposed to see the mayor at a gala in 2 weeks. The very notion terrified you. Of course, you had to come running to stop me. But it was all fake. All the files, all the dates, all the data, the plans, the test event that was supposed to be scheduled today. It was all fake. Put into my systems to lure you out. And here you are. It's a good thing you're so pretty, sweetheart, because you walked right into my trap. You might be able to pick my guys off one at a time when they're out running shipments. You might be able to sneak around in my warehouses and steal data. But not even you can handle a small army of henchmen armed with batons and tasers. No, yes, you may have done a considerable number on them. But the moment you set foot inside this facility, you had already lost. So how does it feel, hero, to be humbled like this? To find yourself completely at my mercy? To be such a fool as to fall for it? To be so battered and bruised that even if you weren't tied up, you still couldn't do a thing to stand up to me now? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think that was rhetorical, or are you just too embarrassed to speak? Go on, hero. Answer. How does it feel to be my bitch? Oh, all the delicious looks flashing across your face. Helpless, vulnerable, weak, scared, angry, defiant, seething. But however angry and defiant you try to look, your pitiful attempts to struggle only highlight how weak you really are right now. It's pathetic. And I love it. It really makes me wonder what to do with you now. I have so many options. I could turn you over to the police. After all, you did break in and attack my security guards. You'd be seen as the criminal here. After all, I'm a legitimate business owner. And it's not like the police know your secret identity. If you did try to get off by telling them who you are, would they even believe you? And even if they did believe you, could the goodwill of the people get you off on completely valid charges? I don't think so. But you can relax. I'm not going to go that route. I really don't need an investigation happening here. I could just kill you. Problem solved forever. That is the easy solution. But where's the fun in that? Which brings us to option 3. I keep you as a symbol. The one person who dared stand in my way. Who made it seem like my organization was weak. That we could falter. Kept tied at my side to show people what happens when they try to stand up to me. They end up weak, pathetic, and broken, bound at my feet, just like you. And you'd make such a pretty symbol, too. You know, at first, I definitely wanted you dead. I was furious. I wanted them to bring me your head. Metaphorically, of course. I don't care to actually see that sort of thing. But at a certain point, I just wanted you to break you, to bend you to my will, and to make you realize you were a fool to ever think you could stand up to me. But you can't. You never could. You were just a pest, growing more irritating until I cared enough to deal with you. And you are nothing beneath me. Just a worthless whelp who fooled herself into thinking she could actually make a difference. But the only difference you ever made was pissing me off. I mean, why me anyway? I know the shit I get up to. But I'm hardly the only one. I know for a fact every major corporation in the city operates exactly the same way I do. So why was I the one that you begged to notice you? Was it personal? I killed your father. Cute. But do you have the slightest idea how little that narrows it down? Wait, no. That means you must be Inigo Montoya. Yes, I know, it's shocking. A big, bad villain like me can have a sense of humor. And for my next joke, you. I do try not to make the same joke over and over. After all, there's no sense beating a dead horse. But you're not quite dead yet. Oh, and look at you tumble. Look at the bright side, sweetheart. I let go of your hair. Although being knocked back to the floor is probably not so much fun either. That's hardly the first bruise you've earned yourself today, though. I mean, you must be covered in them after fighting my minions. For example, I'm sure one of them had to go for your shins. It's an easy weak point, and a good hit would probably limit your mobility pretty well. I'm sure if I just grab your leg and press hard right about here. Oh, that must be a bad one to make you cry out so beautifully. I mean, to be covered in these head to toe. You must just be sore all over. It's no wonder you're letting me push you around like this now. Just no fight left in you. The very notion that you could stand up to me. Well, with this display, it's just pathetic. You are pathetic. And I think it'd be best if you understood that. You'll have a much more pleasant time if you're an obedient pet. Because after today, you're never going to be anything else.